All right, talk.
To the camera? What do I say? Do I say my name?
Whatever you want to say.
Hi, my name is João. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
You like music.
I do like music.
What do you like to listen to?
I want to say that I really like to listen to Brazilian music.
Somebody commented recently, you got to do an episode about Brazilian music.
Did they say, please come to Brazil?
Well, we get that all the time.
Yeah, okay. That's classic Brazilian.
I have a feeling
behavior.
In this episode there's going to be a lot of those comments.
I'm happy to represent my country.
Are you ready?
Definitely not, but let's do it.
Here you go. Brazilian.
Yeah, this is Jorge Ben. W Brasil. Yeah, I think he's probably the artist from Brazil that mixes the best at Brazilian music. His music has a lot of samba influence, a lot of bossa nova, soul music, a little bit of everything. And I think his debut album was in the early 60s, and he's still performing concerts to this day. And he's one of the most energetic performers out there. Absolute legend.
When we come to Brazil, that's what we're trying to say.
Yeah, please come to Brazil. This is Marcos Valle.
Yeah.
Also amazing artist. Do you know who Tom Misch is? Great guitar player.
Yeah.
His biggest idol apparently is Marcos Valle. And his Instagram profile picture was a Marcos Valle picture. And everyone's like, why is this guy on a profile picture? Turns out they're best friends now. I think they created music together.
I'd like to bring here Tom Misch.
Marcos Valle is an absolute legend. Love the guy.
2 for 2. Oh, this is an interesting one.
That's a great story behind the song as well. This is Samurai by Djavan. Okay. What happened here was, Djavan is one of the most legendary artists in Brazil. Incredible artist. Huge hit maker. I want to say in the 70s or 80s, his record label wanted him to make a record here in the US. So they brought him here. Apparently, they were recording the album, and they said hey man, Stevie Wonder is right and in the next room. Do you want to do something with him? Yeah. And Djavan was yeah, of course, Stevie Wonder. I'm not crazy. But he said I have no songs for Stevie to feature. And they were can you make one? And I was yeah. So he went back to his hotel, and in a couple hours, I think he made just one of the most spectacular songs ever written by any human being. He's incredible.
That's what happens when you get inspired by Stevie Wonder.
That is true.
You could probably write an amazing song if they were hey, Stevie's going to record with you tomorrow.
Probably not, but that's on me. That's not on Stevie for sure. If you're Djavan, you definitely nail it. Yeah. This is Marina Lima, right?
Yeah.
A Francesa. This groove is just crazy. I've watched a ton of concerts by her. Great performer as well. One of the big interpreters in Brazilian music. Love her.
What is it about Brazil and the culture that makes it so musical?
Brazil is such a diverse country with such a diverse set of influences culturally.
Yeah.
And that translates super well to our music. So, for example, when I was talking about Jorge Ben, you had bossa nova, which was basically us reinterpreting jazz using samba elements. We have the samba that has a lot to do with other types of influences. You have these songs of a very distinct groove that comes from a lot of the soul music from here, but it has the Brazilian twist.
So
the Brazilian spice.
There's American influences also in Brazil.
For sure. All of these movements that were big here, most of the movements we translated to do it our own way. So bossa nova is our way to do jazz, for example. And back there you had also the folk rock era here in the US, and we had the Jovem Guarda back in Brazil. Sort of our way to do it. So there's this idea of taking what's going on out there and doing it our own way.
What's happening right now in Brazil?
We have our own country music. It's called sertanejo, which is huge in the Midwest of the country, for example.
Similar to country music here?
Yeah, it's our version of it. Where I'm from, Rio, right now have a lot of samba pagode, which is like a different version of samba as well. Funk, which is it's not like what you would think is funk. It's not like James Brown kind of funk. It started as of like rap started around here as well. It was something that was very specific for a certain population like within the city, and it just like blew up, and now it's like a national movement. We have like international artists. I don't know if you heard of some of them, like Anitta is big in the US
She's probably
as well.
the biggest international Brazilian artist.
For sure. She was very good at like exporting her music, and she started like as a funk artist, like in the trenches, and now she's like huge, doing songs with like Snoop Dogg, Maluma, like a ton of different people.
I like this history lesson we're getting.
I'm glad I can provide this.
He's an anthropologist.
I'm literally just Brazilian. Oh yeah. This is Gonzaguinha. Oh wait. No. Sorry. I got it wrong. Someone's calling me. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Oh.
Gilberto Gil. What I did is like a crime in my country. I'm so sorry for that. I mistook I mistook the intro. I thought it was Lindo Lago do Amor. No, Gilberto Gil is
iconic.
Like 60s, was very big there. Big like in the Tropicalia music. During the dictatorship years in Brazil, he went for exile in, I think it was in London. Made a lot of music like out in Europe, went back. So like he's been through like all sorts of movements. If I'm not mistaken, he just made like his last tour right now. So he's been touring for like 6 years and making music with like new generations. He's from the northeast of the country, and he has like a lot of these like northeastern influence. And also like when he went back to Europe, he took a lot of stuff, like made some songs in English even. He's one of those guys that it's weird to call him an artist. It's just like an entity, you know? Like it's just like something more. Yeah, this is Rita Lee. What is great is that many of the artists that you played here, they have been through like all these different phases in history. So like Rita Lee is another one that like, she started like back in the 60s with these 3-people band, Mutantes. Yeah. A huge phenomenon. I want to say that their debut album was also called Mutantes. It was like a huge album back in the 60s, and then they went on to make, I want to say a second album, and then they had a lot of problems. She started like her solo career, and her solo career, like she has like so many hits. She was such a poet, and she had such a beautiful way to say things, and she was also like the coolest person to ever live. Like that's my hot take. There was no one in history as cool as Rita Lee. She was like the coolest person to ever exist. She passed away a couple years ago, sadly, but she'll never be gone.
This playlist is fire.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. Like I could stay here just listening. Tim Maia, insane artist.
Like, look how cool he looks.
No, okay. So we have a lot of people who are around like the coolest people in the history of music. Tim Maia was one of them.
This is the theme of the playlist: coolest Brazilian artist of all time.
That's pretty accurate, honestly. Probably like coolest people as well, because like Brazilian
Coolest
people tend to be cool.
Coolest people.
Yeah, like I'm the exception to the rule. Tim Maia, I want to say that like Tim Maia is probably the biggest icon in terms of like our soul music, pure like soul. And he was this like very intense guy, and that translates into his music as well. He's had like a lot of influences. So there was this moment in which like he was obsessed with a book, and all his songs were like about this book. He has this psychedelic era, sort of his own Sgt. Pepper's, you know? And he made like one of his, some of like his best songs where he was like obsessed with a specific book. Yeah, he went like...
He went too deep.
He could do that. Show me from behind the wall. This is beautiful. Can I just stay here? Okay.
See you later.
Thank you. Thanks, Jack. This was lovely. This is Caetano Veloso. You don't know me. Him and Gilberto Gil, they were like part of like the same movement, the Tropicalia. They had like very different phases in their lives. He also went to London when he was exiled. And when he was in London, he recorded this album that features this song that is called Transa, which means sex, by the way. Can I say? He captured like the zeitgeist of like being an artist from the northeast of Brazil in London at that time, like so well. And it's like one of the best albums ever made.
What year are we
in
talking?
music.
Around.
It's definitely the 70s. I want to say like 71.
Early 70s.
Am I going crazy with this? I wouldn't say because it was a dictatorship.
71. Yeah.
71, yeah. Well, got this on camera?
Bonus points.
Let's go.
Que bandeira que você deu? Que bandeira não me
Is this Evinha? When I mentioned like our versions of American movements, Jovem Guarda was one of like the big movements as well that I mentioned, and some artists like went after Jovem Guarda to be like huge. The biggest one is like Roberto Carlos, who went on to be like, it's what for like Spanish music Julio Iglesias is probably. He's like this crooner that like old ladies love, but other artists did not like get like that big after that, and she was one of them. But it's interesting because there's this movement of like bringing back music from that moment now. So if you go to like a disco party back in Brazil, like they're gonna play a lot of her songs. That is not a great song.
I want you to pick.
Oh,
You got to round off the playlist.
okay.
We got to complete it.
Okay.
We got to give it the missing piece.
Okay.
And I think it was coolest people of all time is the theme.
I know exactly who I'm picking. His name is Cartola. He was like a legendary writer for samba in very early 1900s. He wrote music for very important samba artists in like 1920, 1930, but he never got to record his own songs. And given the way that things worked back then, he didn't get a lot of money for just like writing the songs for these people. So he didn't get rich or anything. He had like regular jobs. And in the 60s, one producer looked at him and was like, this guy's like a legend. We have to allow him to like have an album by him, like that he sings. A lot of record labels did not allow him to record an album that he was singing because they said that he didn't sing well. In the end, they managed to find a record label. They recorded like an album, and this album, that is, I think it's called Cartola as well, is like one of the most beautiful pieces of art in history. And his voice is, like, you can see that he lived through a lot, you know? Like, he was already, I want to say, like 60 or 70 back then.
There's a crazy stereo mix, too.
Yeah.
Like,
That's remastered for sure. And the funny thing is that, if I'm not mistaken, this song is one of the few songs that he didn't write. So he was performing someone else's music, and he made it better than anyone else. So jokes on the people who said that he couldn't sing. And also this song features in...
so interesting.
Yeah, it features in City of God, if I'm not mistaken, which is a great Brazilian movie.
Amazing Brazilian
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
You can go. I'll stay here.
Okay. Now it's my turn. Can I get your phone as well? Okay, bye.
Thank you.